What's up, everybody? Brett here, back today playing some more Tower Dominion. And we are gonna try a new character today. One that I've beaten the game with. It's gonna be this character here for the Lions of Ravelski. This Tomb Raider looking lady, the archaeologist Korea. She has a very cool building, which I don't think the last time I played as her, I really made full use of. And I want to try to check it out. It's the Archotech ability. She starts with one Xeno prognosis building. Very cool. I'm going to explain what it does when we get into it. And as a commander, she has an extra 50% HP with adventurous life. So straight up just Lara Croft. I would like to try to beat this as a level 3 campaign. Let's do it and see what we can get done here. What the game starts us off with is kind of rough. We got a lot of entry points to start with. Ooh. And a rough... Man, this is something right here. So normally I love to start with the Stars Call, rushing for the 50% tower cost decrease. But I think this is going to be pretty tight here. So I think we need to go pretty heavy on trying to survive. And we're going to go ahead and just rush the Reaper turrets as well as the support helipad. It's the cheapest way to do it. We do want some recon production to build the Xeno prognosis, which I'm going to get into soon. But the thing is, yeah, it's very cheap to build, but the upgrades cost, if I remember right, they cost a bunch of recon. So we don't have any recon, and we, before building this, didn't have any recon production. We're going to be looking for neutral buildings that let us have that. But for now, we just need to survive. We need to get to the point where we have enough recon to build this. And then this really cool, I don't even know what to call it, a tower. It looks like a piece of modern art, is going to hopefully carry us into the late game. So let's see. Let's see how our towers do. This is an awesome, sturdy bunker position. I mean, look at the coverage. Scout tower, if I'm remembering correctly, and I think I am, we are going to need all the recon we can get, so scout towers are not going to be really a viable option for us. I'm tempted here just to take the supply over, you know, throwing a bastion and a claymore in our back pocket, because we simply we can't build them yet. But let's plan a little bit for the late game. We do want to get to the late game. Let's go ahead and give reinforced pivot to our sturdy bunker. Going to really increase its DPS, especially early game when everything has very little HP. It just needs to shoot. Yeah, and we'll take recon. So we're getting to the point where I do want to drop this down. I don't remember what the actual numbers are. I need to check that out. But we are getting all of the entrances here, man. And what I'm seeing here is we're going to want to build up, like maybe curve and go up here, which means I don't want to go here. I would like to also curve this up. And if I'm going to do that, then I need to link these together. So we've got kind of a bit of a dilemma, if you will. Let's drop the second heavy Vencedor. And that should really own this zone for us. These Reaper turrets are okay. Look at Angelina Jolie. Love it. If you guys ever played Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, I think her name is Tanya. She's like the American hero character. Love that game. That's what she reminds me of. She runs around with two pistols. Probably also based off of Lara Croft, if I had to guess. I don't know that for a fact, but that's got to be right, huh? We're going to drop another sturdy bunker. And you know what? With the extra cash, I don't think the placement of this thing matters. I know it's big. It takes up 4 spaces. So we don't want to put it anywhere that's like critical. But this is probably a fine spot. So let's go ahead and read what it does. We actually got a chance to get an early upgrade should we so choose. It has no weapons of its own, but we have the option to grab right now for the cost of 50 recon. We would just flat out get 500 supply, which could be very helpful in the early game. But in the end, by the end game in an endless mode, 500 supply is nothing. And 2 tech, which is something. 2 tech is something. You can get some pretty good upgrades with that for free. However, we're here for this. For the repair molecular core, which emits a wave every 10 seconds that damages all enemies. I don't know how much damage that is, but this is kind of the cool piece of this building, and that's what I'm going to want to build. So, and then as we go down further, plus 50% HP and damage for all of our troops is huge. I mean, you couple that with the support radar, and it would have been 100% for all of our tanks. You can imagine how strong we could get our tanks to be. However, also has the repair deceleration field, which emits a wave every 10 seconds, damaging and slowing all foes. So now we've got double damage every 10 seconds and a slow on everything. That's huge. And then as we go down here, we can either, let's say we're running low on, oh, actually, these are doctrines, not blueprints. So we could get 6 doctrines, which is huge. That's, I mean, depending on what you get and the rarity of the doctrines, that could be a massive power spike. Or every 10 seconds gives +1 range to buildings near the end of the wave. That's insane. So, you know, by endless mode 50 or whatever, it takes forever for the enemies, especially with the slow. It's going to take forever for enemies to get down here. All of our towers are just going to have like infinite range. Very cool. So, obviously, I think we're going to wait until we get to 80 recon. That way we can afford the upgrade that I think we all know we want. But now we just got to live. Would love to kind of put that in there, the Stars Call, and get that building reduction going already. So this is fine here. This would be fine here. I'm going to build that. I'm going to go ahead and get the reinforced pivot over there. Do we have any good options for a light mortar position? We do, but I think it's a little premature. Like, we could go here. Could go here. But these are really good bastion positions for later, so we'll chill on that. I'm going to drop this down. It doesn't do any good for us. Normally, I think the move is I need 200 and 300. So I need to have a surplus of 500 supply that I'm not going to miss or take damage because of. And so, and obviously the 100 that it actually costs. So 600. Right now, I don't really have 600 to give away. So it was maybe not, it was a little premature to place this down. I can't afford to place it down yet, is what I'm saying. Some very interesting positions for us. I like a lot of overlap. Probably want to rush a second heavy Vencedor here, especially until we manage to stretch these lanes out. Hate to see flyers running straight at the base. That's not good. The Reapers are sort of protecting us for now. Platforms costing 0 is something I unlocked last night playing a character that I hadn't played before. That was pretty cool. This is pretty cool too. Triumphant Conquest. I think I undervalued this the last time I mentioned it. But in the late game, if you get a lot of discovery, you're going to see a lot of neutral buildings. And you can get to a point where you're almost discovering a neutral building like every other wave. So having a 15% damage bonus on like 50 towers, you know, every other wave in the late game is huge. So we're going to take that. I think that's much better than I was giving it credit for in the beginning. So now we can just straight up connect these. I like just ending that. And look, we get the Deca amplifier. I mean, it would have been interesting to put something like the Xeno next to a neutral building like this for an extra 75% damage. That probably was an insane play we could have done. And in the future, guys, I might encourage you to do that. Something like that. Hold out for a sick neutral position. But anyway, we're going to grab the repair molecular core and see what kind of work that does. Our next upgrade is going to be at 100 recon. And we're only producing 5 at a time. So I don't expect to see that anytime soon. And let's go ahead and get the logistic reinforcement here. This tower has great coverage. It can help us with some of the air. It helps us here, helps us everywhere. Oh, and that was the first wave emitted. We cleared a little faster than our ability to see it. Negotiation skills early is good. Plus 50% supply amounts offered in reinforcements. Very good. I am going to take 2 blueprints, though, We're going to play for the very late game. And where do we want to go here? We'll drop down a Warwolf position. I think we just need to kind of place some towers. I do still want to get this. And we do need to deal with the air. Man, it's hard to get a read. Until we're able to expand out a little bit, it's going to be hard to get a read on how good this tower is. Good or bad. I do not yet know. That's rough. These positions, these zones are not great for us. They're not giving me what I want. Let's get the Vindicar there. Or Vincador. I keep saying the name wrong. We'll have to build something probably here. Probably another Mirador. And we'll upgrade it once or twice. To see if we can't stem the bleeding from these air units. Not too bad, though. The commander gains detection. That's kind of cool. Is it good? Probably better on certain other commanders. Man, I wish I had a little bit more in the cash department. This is a super strong position for a sturdy bunker. And then we could even, later on when we have the cash, get the high ground expertise for the 300% damage increase. Okay. Happy we had some good coverage here, because that could have sucked. They sent a pretty strong dude there to get us. Man, and we're starting to get into kind of the mid-game here, and we still haven't gotten the blueprint cost decrease. And we're also not seeing the pieces that I need to close this up. This is fine. And it even comes with a nice neutral position. Would have been nice if we could have got that next to there. But that's okay. I'm being a little greedy now. Let's build here. And here. Huge range. Alright, we're stabilized. Oh, maybe not. Okay, the wave came in clutch there. Tempted to take this for the Doctrine. This will add up to, you know, a couple thousand HP over time. But we're going to go for blueprints. And we've got a lot of them. They don't help me at all if I lose. But I'm hoping not to lose. So it appeared we needed more coverage here, so we'll go ahead and get that. And it worked. HQ doing bonus damage sucks. We don't need that. Let's go. More of that. Okay, okay. We're getting close now. This has got to close off. We have to make this happen. And then we could just deal with this area. That's going to be huge for us. We could just stop building down here, basically. And really focus. Would love to get a bastion here. That's a very powerful bastion position. Also want to make sure we haven't really seen any camo yet. We've got shields, we've got fast guys, and we've got flyers. $800 supply. You know what? I don't think we can pass that up. Love to get the discovery. Love to get the additional supply in the future. In the end, these two probably come close to balancing out to this. This also, I do only have one Warwolf position, so this would give me 10 recon production. But that's a very far-sighted play, and we're somewhat close to getting the second upgrade for the Xeno prognosis anyway. Right now, I just want to live. And I think we do that by building really strong stuff right now. And even just upgrading the stuff we already have. I think now's a good time. We have extra money. Let's get that. I should have done that first before placing the Bastion, obviously. We would have got a discount there. So that was a bit of a misplay. But going forward, we are going to get a discount. We need to be really observant this wave to see what looks like it may or may not leak. This is probably a pretty easy value upgrade. And let's say value upgrade is in just it's cheap. It's cheap and it like doubles the DPS of that particular tower. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Here, this is a good position. If we get one more corner piece, we lock that up. And then all we have is 3 battlefronts or entry points. Battlefronts are these. Entry points going in one direction, which is what we want. Then we can start placing cannons and all sorts of other crazy stuff, all shooting in one direction, really concentrate our fire. And that's how we're going to win this. So what do we build now? So we want to take advantage of our cheaper towers. Maybe build towers over upgrades. So she ran in a different direction from her Praetorian Guard. We have so many options, guys. We have a ton. Could reduce the cost of upgrade. If I had a big bank right now of supply, this could be really good. Instead, I'm just, yeah, you guessed it, I'm just going to keep taking blueprints. Puma's an excellent anti-air tower with upgrades that can give it massive range from tech. I like to get one of these down early because they're not free, but they're almost free with how cheap they actually are for how good they do. I don't see, you know, there's good positions for it, but there isn't any great positions for it. So I'm going to hold off. This wouldn't be bad, believe it or not. Normally you don't want to put a Durandal in a low position, but putting it next to this particular site gives it range and damage. So now it's got great range. We upgrade it with long barrel, and if you'll read the text there, it gets an additional 2 range if we put it next to a neutral building. So it'll be hitting over here, it'll be catching any flyers that fly through this zone, and it'll be hitting here, here. I mean, it's not bad. I think that's pretty good. Gotta make sure we're still covered here. We still have 3 entrances on the bottom side, so we can't really afford to cheap out on the bottom. Lowering our building's damage, but also lowering the upgrade cost by 10% is pretty nice. That'll also apply to the recon we need to upgrade our Xeno prognosis thing. So that's quite tempting. And I think a 5% damage upgrade is fine until you get to the late game and you run out of buildings to build and you run out of upgrades to get. But if we're not playing for like the uber super late game, this is really good, I think. This is just a buff to Miradors with some cash. I'm going to take that. I also like the ammo depot. The ammo depot is awesome. Could potentially put it next to this for some damage. Didn't think about that till the last second, unfortunately. We'll drop you here. Man, what do we do with our 600? I don't hate that. Get our AoE covered somewhat cheaply. Take that Mirador upgrade. Probably should upgrade all of them. I'll take a platform and another werewolf. We'll get that upgrade there. And I mean, look at the range. Now, we could go for the Flarium shells, which lowers the range by 2. That range we just picked up here, we would lose. But by losing that, and you know, this is a lot of dead space here. I like having this extra coverage. We don't necessarily need it. But we would have great coverage in this small zone with huge damage. Probably worth it. Probably worth it. This is a massive DPS increase, especially if later in the game you pair it with a blessed machine. This thing just... it'll be at the top of the DPS charts easily. And it was essentially free, right? We've got tech we're not using, let's use it. Get some cheap upgrades up top. Kind of scope out some new spots. This is what I've been waiting for this whole time, is a nice fat recon bonus. And then here, we have to take this. All buildings getting 10% damage versus air. You love to see that. I would just probably drop down a really cheap tower here. The light mortar position. It's not useless here. It may do some damage eventually. But that's what we needed in order to get the repair deceleration field done and locked in. So now we need another, what is that, 215 recon to get this, which isn't an insane amount normally if you have the ability to generate it, but we kind of don't. So we're going to have to wait a hot second to get that. Any easy? Yeah, we're going to take the high ground expertise. It's on a tier 3 foundation there, so that'll be an extra 30% damage. And then we'll probably end up making this a pulse cannon, a shield destroying tower, as opposed to a roof sniper, because there just aren't any camouflage units for us to kill. And also this is very strong. And then probably ammo storage, because we have a 3-way bastion position. This gives us a bunch of little mini weapons, which is great if units are running by like a lot of little guys. This turns the roof-based pulse cannon into a monster. And would probably, if I finish this upgrade, it'll probably be at the top of the damage charts. And until we get this corner piece, this is a little bit of a sketchy position. We may even want to just rush a solid foundation here. This is doing work. We just saw the double pulse go off. Zoom out a little bit here to spare our ears. Yeah, we're gonna go for solid foundation. It's not a tier 3 foundation position. So we wouldn't get the max out of the high ground expertise. We'd miss out on 100% damage, but it would still be good. But for now, we just need what we need. We don't want to leak. Anything game changing? Anything we really want to get? No, I don't think so. I think we're looking for upgrades now. I think finishing off these mirror doors would be very good. Better single target damage. This thing is, I think, is carrying us a little bit. And I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah, we need to close this off. This is just too damn close. Man, a division relay. Ooh, do we take it over another 50 recon and 100 supply? The 100 supply is kind of whatever, but the 50 recon rushing to that final upgrade is very appealing to me. A division relay, however, is a pretty rare tower, and it crushes shields, which is going to be our main kind of like adversarial enemy type. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to get a little greedy. This is also a little greedy not building this here, because we could ultimately kind of wrap that around, but I'm not doing that. We are going to build this here. And we're just going to have to put up with this until we can close it. Just kind of thinking what we could do in the short term to really shore up this position with the limited funds that we have. I guess we just do that for now. Would love to get the tanks going, man. Oh, starting to get a little sketchy. These roof snipers are starting to look more and more attractive. Got to keep an eye out here. This could sneak up on us at some point if we're not careful. Okay. okay. Would love another bastion here and here. The bastion here would also be quite good. Could start exploring claymore positions as well. This is a nice big open spot. This is... Ooh, that doesn't fit. Never mind. I thought that fit. This is a very good claymore position, but we would have to use things we don't have. I don't have enough. I actually don't have enough platforms for that. This is a good position, but it takes up a good position from other things. Might not be quite the right time for a claymore. Yeah, man. This is very awkward. Very awkward indeed. I am going to place this here. I'm starting to see a little bit of slippage in this zone. So we are going to rush to the Flarium shells and just have really good coverage in this little square with huge damage from the Durandal. And with that, I'm going to feel a lot safer here. Could prioritize getting some heavy shells here to increase the range. Could even make use of some more tech. Man, now we've got massive range here. Able to hit this zone. That's pretty damn clutch. 400 supply or 50 recon and a scout tower we can't build. I'm going to take the supply. I also just don't want to see that doctrine again. Let's get that out of the pool. It's good for now, but I just don't want to see it. We're going to take the roof-based pulse cannon. I think we've needed to get that for a minute here. We're going to use the last of our tech here. I like this as a good upgrade. And then once we get the additional range here, we'll have 2 warwolves that can also hit on this side of the map. We need this corner piece, man. And if I wasn't hoarding recon, we would be rolling for it pretty aggressively. Ooh, we just took a bit of damage from air. I don't love that. I don't love that. And here's the sanction cannon. One of the buildings I was talking about, the cannons that are going to be able to shoot down range and do huge damage for us. We're going to rush recon, man. I think that's the move. I hated seeing this air unit just walk right past us. I think it maybe went behind the sturdy bunker. That's not good. We don't want that. We don't want to see that. That's making me think I need to put something like another Mirador here. I mean, even do we just put another Warwolf? These are amazing Warwolf positions. And Warwolves do hit air units, as you just saw. They're just very slow to do that. That Psy Wave's doing good work. Yeah, now we're getting hit by air units this way. Don't love that either. But the Xeno Prognosis is crushing it. Top of the DPS charts with 10k. That's awesome. And now I think, normally I would take this. I think we take this. Give me max supply, man. And we're still waiting. This is good for the future, but we still need that corner piece. So, this is what we're going to do. Could put a platform here. Something like that. Let's get an anti-air design. Can't get the range, unfortunately, but I think we get enough coverage that it'll ease our air problems here. And then if we had the tech, we would grab Paleo Augmentix and get massive range and damage increase. But instead, we're just going to go for the quad barrel or barrage LMG. And this should solve a lot of our air problems down here. It also is a decent general purpose. Okay, this is getting spooky down here. We gotta do something. This is not good. So they sent a ton of shield dudes at us. So we're going to get a fully upgraded shield killing bastion down here. Ooh, I don't hate this either. And adjusted priorities for the low cost of -10 production of supply, we could get +10 recon production. We're going to take that. A little spooky because we already have pretty crap supply production, which is part of the reason we're sort of like slowing down a little here. We have a lot of firepower focused in this area, especially with this upgraded Durandal. So, you know, if enemies make it all the way here and it's starting to look scary because it seems like they're very close to the base, we do have some pretty powerful towers that are here to help. But even still, it looks pretty damn spooky. And we have 70 recon left to go. Anything else we'd like to build? I think we're good. I think we do need to focus on upgrades. Probably get a solid foundation here. That maybe is a long time coming. Really want to get high ground expertise. If we're saving up this much, we're going to get the underground garage. We're going to get tanks on the field. Let's see. We're going to be close. I was going to say, if we could get a little bit of cash here, we'd be able to afford it. I love an Omega emitter. I don't know if we've built... We could put one here. That wouldn't be terrible. But in the future, this is, not even in the future, right now, this is only a one entryway position. I'm gonna build that there. We don't really have a good spot for it here. We've got 2 of these now. Would be nice to build, but we just can't afford. We're gonna wait a second and get the underground garage. We're gonna need to survive for just a moment here. There we go. So now we're gonna start producing tanks. Each wave spawns 1 tank per battlefront, then 1 every 10 seconds. So we're not going to see the benefit of this until next wave. And I think here we get the ammo storage, like I mentioned previous. And we're going to drop down another bastion here. Man, we're getting so close. Things that increase the range, while really good now, we don't need to prioritize that super heavily. Because we're going to get range when this is fully upgraded. And it'll be fully upgraded before you know it. So how's this guy doing? Damage-wise. Ooh. Flyers getting a little too close for comfort. We've got the tanks now. We need something to deal with these flyers. Even if it's just... a Mirador or a Durandal would be great here. Or even another Puma. Another Puma might be the deal. All buildings deal plus 50% damage to shields. I don't think we can pass that. That's very powerful. Come on, man. 1 corner position is all we need to close this loop. We may end up losing because we don't close this. I just want to point that out. So that way when it happens, it's not like a big I told you so or something. Because I see what you guys see. It's not great to have that open. We're going to upgrade this. We've got a lot of air coverage here. Man, we're holding out there. Do I just build something like this? No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I would rather perhaps build a Mirador here with some of the ground floor upgrades. Could even make the headquarters a little bit stronger. Give it more damage, HP, a little bit of repair. I don't hate getting at least one of those. We have repair already, but a little bit more doesn't hurt. And 2 more waves until we can get the repair warp generator. Okay, what do we want on you? Probably just shield again, right? I'm gonna have to think on that. Let's get another Puma and some supply. So we've got $2 grand. This is a pivotal Super pivotal round for us. We have to survive this one wave. We always have to survive every wave. But if we want to see the repair warp generator, we need to survive this wave. And we desperately need this corner piece. We're just going to drop a nice cheap tower there. Going to place another bastion here. It's got a little bit of height to it. We'll give them roof snipers and roof snipers. This is a lot of anti-air coverage. Not so hot for the shield damaging, but that's why we got this guy. This is an upgrade we kind of neglected earlier. Would be nice to pick that one up. An electric arc cannon is also huge. We'll take that. And we've got a beautiful central position. And finally we close this off. Thank goodness. Could go for another Puma. This is, to me, this is like a beautiful Durandal position. If you have the tech. But we don't have the tech. Okay, before I forget, done. Repair warp generator. So we get to see the power of this in action. Should be pretty fun. Would love to get these shooting floors done. I'm worried about so many things. See how we do. Let's see what that wave looks like. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to build this here. It's not optimal for the wave, but it is optimal if it gets a chance to shoot at anything far away. Like air units running past it. Increase our infantry rate of fire. We don't have a lot of infantry. All right, we want to put down this arc. So we're on the final wave. We're not going to have time to do all the things we want to do. We'll probably, if we manage to survive here, we'll probably go endless. I ain't got nowhere to be right now. I'm sipping my coffee, chilling. Yeah. I got time. We can play a little endless ball. Drop a Durandal here. It's going to be expensive to upgrade, but it's going to get huge range bonus from the long barrel, which we're going to get ASAP. And then the heavy payload we're also going to get ASAP. So let's not die to flyers. Man, a lot of little guys. Oh no, and we died. Damn. Did not have enough coverage for the little guys. Wow. Yeah, I was very optimistic. So this does great damage, and it definitely did the most damage. So this wasn't the problem, it was me. You know, having another source of recon production in the form of a neutral tower would have been, or neutral building would have been really good. But we didn't have it, man. I fell short. Sucks. Trying to think of what we're going to play next time. This is probably my favorite character right now. And I think maybe next time I'll try to take you guys into a level 4 difficulty campaign and showcase this character, Captain Scarlet. Super cool. Really interesting mechanics. She gets her own, like, units. She gets, like, a never-ending supply of dudes that you can place. She has, like, a camp that you can upgrade. She's very cool. And I think that's what we're going to do in the next episode. But, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this attempt at a cool Archaeologist Kira run. I mean, just call her Angelina Jolie. That's what she is. She even has the implants or whatever. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brett. Channel It's Good Talk Gaming. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.